You want to know if Raging Bull's worth the 4K upgrade from Criterion? Stay tuned. Raging Bull is a 1980 drama directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Robert De Niro, Kathy Moriarty, and Joe Pesci, and tells the story of real-life boxer Jake LaMotta, whose violence and temper that led him to the top of the ring destroyed his life outside of it. Criterion presents this film for the first time on 4K UHD with HDR10. What's up, guys? Ken here from Mid-Level Media, and I am super excited today, guys, to talk about Raging Bull on 4K from the Criterion Collection. This one just got released this week, and this was probably had to be like on the top of my most anticipated for the rest of the year. I was so excited when this one got announced, and I cannot wait to dive into this because I watched this last night, and man, I've got some stuff to talk about with this one. But before we get into it, I have to ask, if this is your first time discovering me here on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to like this video and comment down below what's your thoughts on Raging Bull. What do you think of this Martin Scorsese classic starring Robert De Niro? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know if you're going to pick this up on 4K, because I can tell you right now, you should. It's $25. It's the cheapest it's going to be because of the Criterion sale that's going on right now, not only on barnesandnoble.com and Barnes & Noble stores, but also on Amazon. This is currently $25. So after this month, the month of July, it's going to shoot back up to $35. So definitely, if you're planning on getting it, get it right now. So yeah, let's talk about this movie though. Let's talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the transfer. We're going to talk about special features, packaging, all that good stuff. I'll do a little unboxing. So I watched this movie for the first time back in, I think, 2019. I bought it on Blu-ray, and this Blu-ray is from 2009. I think I actually got this from a Dollar General or something for like $2 or $3. It was a really good deal. But I really enjoyed the movie. I wouldn't have put it like in my top 5 Martin Scorsese films back then, but I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. I always call this movie the anti-Rocky. Robert De Niro's character of Jake LaMotta, a real life character, because this is based on a true story, based on a real life boxer. All the things that happened to Rocky in the Rocky movies, all of the obstacles that he has to overcome, that he has to persevere, that he has to get through, those obstacles changed him for the better. Whereas in this movie, the obstacles that Robert De Niro's Jake LaMotta has to go through kind of change him for the worse. So I always call this one, I kind of think of it as the anti-Rocky movie. And interestingly enough, I think it had the same producer. I think the producer for this movie worked on Rocky, because by the time you got this movie in 1980, you had Rocky and you had Rocky 2. So this is just a great movie. But like I said, I wouldn't have put it in my top 5 back then, but rewatching it last night, oh my goodness, did this movie hit me even better. Like, this is a masterpiece. This is a legitimate masterpiece. I would probably put this in my top 5, quite possibly my top 3 Martin Scorsese films. I think I would have this up there with Taxi Driver, with Goodfellas, with Wolf of Wall Street as some of my favorite Martin Scorsese films. Again, I have not seen every one of his movies. I've seen probably about 15. I'm well enough versed in Martin Scorsese, but I do need to watch quite a few more. But it is way up there. Like, my God, this movie, it's so well directed. It's so well constructed. Some of the shots in this movie are just absolutely beautiful and breathtaking, and just like, it's just so artistic the way that he shoots this movie and the camera angles. It took my breath away while I was watching the film. I was like, I just can't believe the shots and stuff that he's getting in this movie. It really just kind of points out, like, okay, this is why Martin Scorsese, this is why people talk about this guy. Like, he is legitimately one of the best directors ever, of all time, like, hands down. But it's just, this is the reason why. It's like, when you watch this movie, like, you can't, this kind of stuff doesn't stick out in everybody's movie. But when you watch this film, I'm just thinking of the scene where you got Kathy Moriarty and Robert De Niro's on the bed, and she's undressing in front of him, and it doesn't show her in the shot, but it shows her in the mirror across the room. It's just such an interesting and creative shot. And I don't know, just things like that all throughout this movie that I just really appreciated on this watch through. But beyond the directions, it's a masterfully directed film, but the story really hits as well. Like I said, it is the anti-Rocky. It is Jake LaMotta, him getting in his own way throughout the entire film. He's a great boxer, but he has such a confidence in the ring, but that outside the ring, that doesn't carry over. So he's very insecure in his personal everyday life, and that feeds into how volatile his love life is. Like, he starts the movie out with a wife. It doesn't really go into like where she goes after like their like first couple of arguments, but he meets Kathy Moriarty's character. They hit it off. They're in love. They get married. It kind of flash forwards a little bit, but there's still that toxicity in his marriage because he just can't get past certain things. He's such an insecure person in his relationships, and that really kind of leads into the disintegration of all of his relationships, not just his love life, but also with his brother, played by Joe Pesci, which I love both of these guys on screen together. They're just so great together in everything. And it wasn't just Goodfellas. It wasn't just Casino. Like, their chemistry started in this movie, Raging Bull. I don't think that they were in anything together before this, but I could be wrong, because I don't think Pesci was in Mean Streets. I watched Mean Streets a couple of years ago, but I'm pretty sure this is the first movie that they were in together, the first big movie they were in together. But their chemistry is off the charts insane. Like, just they're so entertaining. Like I said, there's some moments in this movie, like some of the stuff that they say, I don't know if it's meant to make you laugh, but like, I was laughing at some of the things that they were saying, especially Joe Pesci, because they're just so blunt. They're just so matter of fact. They're just cussing and just carrying on towards everybody, towards each other. Like, the dialogue between them two is just brilliant and fantastic. And I loved every second of those two interacting with each other in the film. Like I said, it's a volatile brotherly love kind of thing. Like, that you can tell that they love each other, but they're also busting each other's balls throughout the entire film. So it's hilarious. I don't know if it's supposed to be intentionally hilarious, but I was chuckling at some of the things that they were saying. It's just Joe Pesci, just the cadence of him and his voice and his tone and the way that he presents everything is just so hilarious to me. Like, he's fantastic. And again, it's not just this movie. Like, they're great in Goodfellas. They're great in Casino together. But it really, I think of all the three movies that I've seen in Martin Scorsese, I'd probably say their chemistry is the best in this. But again, this is the freshest one in my mind. But I just love their interactions with each other. It tells a great story. They have great chemistry throughout the movie. Kathy Moriarty is fantastic in the movie as well. She has to deal with a lot of stuff. She really has to carry a lot of the emotional weight of the film, I feel like. And Joe Pesci as well, to an extent, because by the end of the movie, it's really them having to deal with the fact that they've lost, Ray LaMotta. Like, he's a shell of the man that he once was, and he just keeps on deteriorating as he goes. So they have to deal with that loss. So you feel that weight through their performance. You feel the weight of loss through Robert De Niro's performance. Like, as bad of a guy that he is and that he turns into by the end of the film, you also can't help but feel sorry for him. And that just goes into Robert De Niro's performance. It's just a brilliant performance. How you can tell that he feels remorseful for some of the things that he does, because he's very violent, he's very abusive, he's punching women in the face, his wives and stuff. And it's like, there's a certain scene, some of the scenes just get very uncomfortable as far as the domestic abuse. But you can tell, like, after those sequences, that he does feel remorse for it, but he doesn't know quite how to deal with it. So a lot of that stuff, just to bring all of that into a movie about boxing, and there is quite a bit of boxing in this film. There's not a ton, but there's some really good boxing sequences that are brutal. Like, there's a scene that's completely ridiculous that maybe it could happen in real life, but like when he punches that guy and his face goes this way and blood sprays all over the audience, I busted out laughing. Again, I don't know if that's intentional, if I should have done that, and I'm not saying that this movie's funny and it's meant to not be taken seriously. It absolutely is meant to be taken seriously, but it's just how it hit me in those moments. It's just, I don't know, brutal boxing scenes. And I mean, Rocky has brutal boxing scenes as well, but this is brutal in a different way, I would say. So, but yeah, great movie. I cannot say enough good things about this movie. I can't give it anything else other than a 5 out of 5. Like I said, this is a freaking masterpiece. I was so much more into it. Like, I loved it before, but I was so much more into this movie this time than I was the first time. The movie did not win Best Picture that year, and that is a crime. Like, I love The Shining. The Shining's in my top 10 movies of all time. I would not expect that movie to win Best Picture. It's a genre film, and those don't usually win Best Picture, but maybe that should have won as well. But Raging Bull, Ordinary People won this year. I have not seen Ordinary People. Some people seem to love that movie. It did get a Paramount Presents release recently. I haven't bought it or watched it. But Raging Bull, come on. Is Ordinary People really better than Raging Bull? Like, this is a masterpiece, like one of the best of all time. But thankfully, it did win an award, I believe, for editing and also for the incredible performance by Robert De Niro. Like, Bob De Niro, man, like, it just doesn't get any better. This guy might be the best actor of all time. I don't know anybody that beats him. Like, how many iconic roles has this guy had? It's insane. He is so great in Taxi Driver. He's so great in this. Godfather 2, I just watched recently. Like, the dude is just on another level. I need to watch The King of Comedy. That is the one big Martin Scorsese film that I have not seen. So really need to watch that one soon. But my God, is this movie so great. Absolutely loved it. So let's get into the 4K transfer of this. And this is, again, where I gotta just gush about this movie and this release once more, because the 4K transfer, my God, did it look good. Like, I was so stunned again. Like, not only was I stunned watching this movie because it's so brilliant and it's so good, but the 4K transfer is incredible. And I will just continue to sing the praises of black and white 4K transfers, because when you get a good black and white 4K transfer, it can stand out even more than a film in color, in my opinion. Again, you had the HDR in this. And I know people, when they think of HDR, it's the colors are brighter, they're richer, they're more vibrant. It just looks better aesthetically because it's in color. I know a lot of people have that mindset. They don't like watching black and white films enough. But when you get a good 4K transfer that really utilizes that HDR effectively within the black and white, what it can do with just the contrast level and the shading and the blacks and the whites, it's just something about a good black and white 4K transfer that just looks so clean. And so beautiful. Very little grain. Like I said, it's a very clean transfer. You can notice some of the grain when you're seeing some of these boxing shots, some of these like kind of long, wide shot boxing scenes where they're showing the ring. You can see a little bit of the graininess above them, and in the background of that was just like the foggy, smoky atmosphere of the room, but just so clean. Like, I'm thinking, I'm visualizing, there's a lot of close-up shots, like the facial detail, like, is so clean. The beads of sweat on Robert De Niro's face, you can just see every single one of them in detail rolling down his cheeks, and it just looks incredible. There's a scene with Kathy Moriarty as she's like sprawled out in front of the pool like this. She looks beautiful, just magnificent in that scene. Again, she's a beautiful actress anyway, but just I'm just the beauty of that shot with her in the white bathing suit in front of the pool in the black and white. I can't say enough good. This is up there to me with The Godfather this year as far as the best 4K transfer of the year. I think it's that good. Up there with The Godfather, up there with the Drive box set from Second Sight. I think Criterion did top-notch work, top-tier work, proving that they still got it. Proving that they still got it, because a lot of people's talking about Kino Lorber and their great 4K transfers. Criterion is absolutely proving that they've still got it with this Raging Bull 4K transfer. And what a movie to prove that with, because again, like, this is such a well-done, well-directed film, well-shot film, great cinematography, and it looks fantastic in 4K. I can't see anybody having an issue. It is flawless, in my opinion, a flawless transfer. Let's get into the audio on this one. So again, I'm just listening to this on a soundbar, but this does have a DTS HD Master Audio 2.0, so just the standard audio, no Dolby Atmos or anything like that. So getting into the packaging itself, like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing, but this is really nice packaging. I do want to see Criterion do a digibook again. It has been a long time, I think back since Menace to Society and Uncut Gems, since they've done a good digibook. But this is a nice, nice little release, and it's got not disc art, but the two discs are different colors. Like the Blu-ray is black and the 4K is red, so that's a nice touch to that. You got a image of Robert De Niro, in his boxing gear on the inside. Just nice cover art. I just love the simple cover art on it, and you do get a cool little Criterion booklet in here. Nice little thick booklet. I know a lot of people were hoping for a digipack with this one, just a nice digipack like Citizen Kane or Menace to Society. I think that this one of everything they've done this year, this one deserves it. Maybe Double Indemnity as well, but I think this one absolutely deserved that digipack treatment. So, and the last thing that we'll talk about is the special features. So most of these special features, I don't think they did anything new. They just kind of put together all the past special features from past releases. So on this one, it is spine number 1134. So I don't know if Criterion has done a release of this before, but there is one special feature that said it was recorded by the Criterion Collection back in 1990. So I don't know if this is released on Laserdisc back then, or if this is just something that they did that they put online or something, or they kept in their archive and they were waiting to get to do this. So not completely sure on that. So one special feature was recorded in 1990. I think it was one of the audio commentaries. So there are 3 audio commentaries on this release, so definitely tons of audio commentaries if you want to get into those from the directors and the actors and all that stuff. I think the one from 1990 was with De Niro and Scorsese, so I'm sure that's a great commentary. That's definitely well worth a listen. So a lot of great special features, interviews, new video essays, you know, just the older special features though from past releases, DVD releases, Blu-ray releases, and all that stuff. So I didn't really get to check my Blu-ray, but yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of these special features are on this Blu-ray now that I see it on the back, because it does have that 4-part feature-length documentary, which is also present in the Criterion release. So if I had to knock this release at all, it would be for not having any new special features. All of these are archival special features, so I wish they would have had a little something new. Like you had Martin Scorsese that did work on the restoration of this film, or he did approve the restoration of this film. It would have been cool to have him and De Niro come back for an interview. Again, I feel like I say this kind of stuff all the time. Get the actors and directors. How long does it take? Like 5 minutes to do like a Zoom call or whatever you want to do. Get some people on site with them, set up an interview. Like I know these guys are busy, they're older, but come on. Overall, guys, look, this is just one of the best movies of all time. I love this movie now that I've seen it. It ranks up there, like I said, top 3, top 5 Martin Scorsese for me. The transfer's so good. I really do like the package on this. Again, I wish they would have done a digibook, but it's such a great release, and I highly recommend you pick it up, and especially right now during the Criterion sale for 25 bucks. So I will link that Amazon link down below in the description if you do want to purchase it based on my recommendation. But there you have it, guys. That is my review of Raging Bull on 4K. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do all kinds of Blu-ray 4K reviews, talk physical media on this channel every single day. You'll enjoy it, so definitely hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to like this video and comment down below, guys, your thoughts on Raging Bull, the movie, the Criterion release. If you picked it up, let me know all that in the comment section below. Also, turn on those bell notifications and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are in the description, and we'll see you next time.